What is up, Star Seeds? It's Sid, and as you can probably guess because of the title, I am going to be talking about past lives today. I've talked about this in my Vedic astrology video, in my Tan astrology video, and in like my theory of the universe video, and just, yeah, I talk about past lives. Last week I talked about parallel lives and living other lives this life, or having your energy in multiple different places right now. But I had to talk about, lives before this one and touch base on what exactly that is all about, because it's a big part of my current life. So let's get into this. First things first, time confuses the hell out of me. I don't even really believe in time because we only experience the now, but for the sake of the human mind, we definitely invented time for a reason, to make things easier. It definitely seems like past lives were in the past before this current life, because they have molded our personality and our zodiac signs even for this life. So we are going to talk about how to tell if you've had a certain past life. If you feel connected or familiar with certain things, and how to kind of piece this together. I'm going to kind of give you guys some story time and tell you if I think you should do qhht hypnosis therapy or not. So let's get into this. I have definitely had memories of past lives. I have gone to qhht past life regression hypnosis therapy, so I feel like I kind of have a good say on this subject, and maybe I can help you guys out. So here are some symptoms that you guys are recalling a specific past life. If you guys feel connected to or very oddly familiar with a certain period of time, place, style of clothing, genre of music, type of car, type of architecture, literally anything, a certain type of food, a certain type of animal, a certain type of plant, literally anything, even a certain color or a certain feeling, a certain emotion, or specific items that you feel oddly connected to in your everyday life. I promise you guys that if you pay attention to everything you feel oddly familiar with and connected to, that you can start to piece together your past lives. I also promise that this can be done a lot quicker if you practice and meditate. Take some time out of your day when you wake up, before you go to sleep, or whenever, to just clear your mind and let any thoughts flow in that are of high vibration from your spirit guides or your higher self. And you guys should really try out past life regression therapy too. qhht is quantum healing hypnosis technique, and it's a form of past life recall that works wonders. You can talk through your higher self as well. You can get insight as to what to do in your life right now, your life path, a bunch of different things, whatever you need to know at that exact moment. You can recall stuff that happened in this life during that too. Lots of abductees use this technique and will go to a hypnotist for this. Yeah, it's great for just honestly accessing the Akashic records, getting whatever info you need. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. It's not dangerous at all. I have done this to multiple people. It's never gone wrong. The only real way I could see it going wrong is someone like not going to the bathroom before and like wetting the bed while you're trying to hypnotize them, but that's honestly about it. I've hypnotized a soul that literally identifies themselves as a demon, and it went perfect. So I'm proud of that. And that sounds crazy. But hopefully you guys are open-minded and believe me when I say that that was definitely real, and that was definitely a very interesting soul who I connected with on many levels during that experience of hypnotizing them. I went to Alice Mixer, a lady in Ann Arbor, and she was pretty cool. I'm going to tell you guys what I saw so you just kind of have an idea of what to expect when you go there. And if you guys have never watched one of my YouTube videos before, aliens are real, da 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 da. And yeah, so if you go to past life regression therapy, you are probably going to see lives as alien beings too if you are open-minded enough. I promise you that if you're closed-minded, you won't see anything. I don't want that to scare you. I don't want you to like set up an appointment for a bunch of money and then see nothing. But if you are watching this video, I bet it will work for you. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You are just letting them hypnotize you. So if you allow them to get you to that state and you allow your spirit guides in, then you will experience something. If you're dedicated and you're like waiting for this for days or weeks or months and you're like excited about this, you're gonna see something. If you're too stressed out about it and you're worried you're not, that's when you won't. So don't think about this too much. Go in with an open mind and you will see what you need to see and you will feel what you need to feel. Your spirit guides will never show you anything too much. I went to therapy thinking I was going to be kind of an emotional wreck for the next month because I was prepared to see, you know, bad alien abduction stuff, bad traumatic past lives, bad deaths that I have already seen before that I was told by my spirit guides I would see again in therapy and that I kind of needed to. So I was like, okay, I'll be good. I can handle it. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do this shadow work and clear this out so we can move on. But no, I was fine after therapy. I was pretty shaken up. Like right when I woke up, I was like, damn. She was like, do you remember? I was like, yep. Yep, I was conscious of that the whole time, I think. You know, let me see my notes. And I just kind of wanted to see my notes and I wanted to listen to it again. And then I was like, okay, let's go hang out with the friends, chill out, and then let's go to bed. Wasn't really depressed about it, just kind of like, damn, okay, hell yeah. It's really weird emotions. But yeah, I didn't even see any abduction stuff when I went. I went December 2018. I plan on like having some of my close friends or a practitioner I'm close with do it to me again soon so I can experience more of that stuff. But I definitely just tapped into a few past lives and talked through my higher self a lot. When you start talking in like the third person and saying she and stuff, that's when you know it's your higher self, to, you know, the hardcore points. But yeah, I will read just little bullet points for you of kind of my lives I saw in past life regression therapy. If you don't believe, oh well, I literally like experienced this, felt this, so that's why I'm saying this. I wouldn't just say this crazy stuff to sound crazy for no reason. I'm doing this so people can hopefully understand better, but and just kind of it's entertaining to hear. Like I listen to these sessions too. You can YouTube that if you guys are interested. There's literally past life regression sessions to listen to on YouTube. But so I saw my life as a Syrian. So I didn't just know I was a Syrian at first. I am mainly claircognizant, so I could have, but that's not how it works this time. The first thing I said was, it's blue and it's happy. I'm like, it's super crystally, like it's blurry. Usually when you are on other planets or in other dimensions, it's blurry, so when you see this through your mind and, regression therapy, it's gonna be blurry if you're, in a higher dimension. So I'm like, yeah, it's really blurry, but like it's watery. Like I can sense there's water all around me on this planet or place or in this wherever I am. It felt like I was in this kind of underwater thing, but it was like the water was, my air, my atmosphere, so I was very used to it. It's so hard to describe. It was like I was kind of in like a video game is the closest way to put it to you. It wasn't video game-ish at all, but just being in another dimension feels like a video game. So yeah, then I felt, and I said serious. She asked me, where are you? And I said serious, without even thinking. And I was like, did I just say that? And I'm like, I guess so. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was serious. I remember the dolphins and the whales and stuff, like a bunch of people say. So if that many people are saying it, I definitely believe in it. Also, one that, I've never heard of this alien race before, but I was this furry beaverish / dog type thing, honestly. It was a weird looking creature. Not really gonna try to explain, but the planet I was on, I could definitely tell it was a planet because it was very small. It was like a big circle rock thing in space, so and it had like little to no atmosphere but lots of gravity. I was just kind of running around. It felt like a hamster just like spinning in its wheel, but yeah, it was a very tough life, lots of running involved. Felt kind of warrior-ish like, but yeah, definitely not a human warrior. Definitely had fur. Yeah. And then another life I saw in therapy was a life I saw outside / before and after therapy too. But it was the life I was aware of and kind of why I went. Yeah. I do think it is a possibility for multiple people to have been a, famous person throughout history in a past life. I haven't heard of any other people saying that they felt like they were this person before, but I'm open to the fact that other people might come out with that info too. And I don't know why I think this thought, but I feel like if I'm thinking this thought, it must be real because our thoughts radiate. So I think that's a possibility. I've listened to qhht sessions of people where they literally say, them and their twin flame in a past life were in the same body. So I feel like that's kind of proof that two souls can be in the same body. I said I, did regression therapy to a soul that identified as a demon. There was two souls in that body. So this is a very trippy thought, but, I'm down for the fact that other people might have been me before too. But yeah, I saw myself as this, famous queen throughout history, and I'm not going to get into the details about that in this video, but yeah, I lived out specific moments from that life in regression therapy, and I never got to do that before, just while meditating, so that was an experience I needed, and I think that's why I went to therapy. So that was cool that I saw that. And I actually didn't even have to live out my death again. I had lived out her death multiple times, honestly, in the shower. I don't know if it's because, like, your mind's clear and you think in the shower. I think way too much, but I feel like my mind was clear yet running in the shower, if that makes sense. So that's kind of probably why I felt my death, like, 3 or 4 times in the shower, and then like a couple, like 2 times not in the shower, like I think laying down in bed was the other 2 times. So feeling your past lives before therapy definitely is a sign that you're going to feel them in therapy, but you won't have to feel the bad stuff like I said before. And I thought I was going to have to feel my death again because that's what I was told, you're going to feel this again. But then in therapy, my higher self was like, yeah, we we told you that, but you don't need to see that. You already did. You will feel this again in the future, but you don't need to feel this now. So they'll show you what you need to feel at that exact moment in time, which is all you can really ask for your spirit guides, right? So another life I saw during regression therapy was an Egyptian life, and this was in December, like I said. So this was actually before I kind of let myself accept the fact that I feel deeply connected to two Egyptian women throughout history. But yeah, I dropped down in Egypt, right? And I just know it's Egypt. I see the pyramids, it's deserty, and I'm a human girl with pretty decently long black hair, and I feel the eye makeup, and I know it's like I can see it after I feel it, because then I'm like, I'm wearing eye makeup. What's it look like? Oh, okay. And it's this blue eyeshadow. It's this like extravagant eyeliner, and it was just so interesting because I remember being in 4th grade for this dance recital and putting on blue eyeshadow for the first time. And I think it was the first time I wore any eyeshadow, honestly. But yeah, I was like, ooh, damn, like, this is my color. Even though obviously, like, I have brown eyes, blue eyeshadow is not my color right now. But like, I was like, ooh, just feeling it. And yeah, in that regression, I totally know I had this like thick ass blue eyeshadow that was like this interesting material and was probably lapis lazuli crystals that I crushed up and put on there. But yeah, I'll probably touch more on that in another video. But if you know anything about ancient Egypt and what the women did, you know that's facts right there. But the interesting thing about this Egyptian life is I felt very important. I felt like I had people that kind of looked up to me and that I had to, be a role model for and kind of help too, in a way, like take care of a village. And I said, the visitors are here. I was talking about the aliens. I had never once in my life before called them visitors because, people call them aliens. I would call them extraterrestrials. I would call them my star family. I wouldn't call them visitors, but I said, the visitors are here. They're helping us build. I've talked to them multiple times. And I'm like, what? In my head, because I'm conscious of this. So I put Sydney aside when I'm in this trance, and my higher self is kind of showing me this information. So as I'm watching this play out, Sydney's aside going like, what? You just got proof that aliens were in Egypt. But, Sydney's asleep feeling this, and she's like, okay, totally accepting of it. So that life was pretty cool to see. And usually you bring questions when you go to past life regression therapy. So I had asked about this situation before where the spirit had told me that my first human life was in South Africa. So I asked to see the South African life. And so I experienced that. I just felt like a lady. I died pretty young, very young, and yeah, I just kind of saw her death actually. Like, it was very painful. So yeah, I just experienced that for a little bit because I was kind of curious what that was about. And then I'm like, okay, next one please. So we moved on to the next question, and that showed me a life with two of my best friends that were sisters. They were my cousin in this past life, and yeah, I got a little bit of insight on that, just kind of confirmation that life happened, because I never even felt that specific life with them, but a spirit, like, I said before had told me about it, so that's where that question came from. And then I saw, I asked about my miscarried sister and lives with her, because I know we've had lives where we were best friends before. And so I first saw this place. The grass was very flowy. It kind of reminded me of SpongeBob. It was blurry, like I said, about Sirius, so this is in a higher dimension, and it's very obvious we're on like a very happy planet, and I'm blonde, hominoid like girl, and so is my sister, and she was just like, you know, the vibration of like my best friend. And there was insects there, just like, I don't know, I feel like there was like big poofy looking butterflies there, and just insects there, like, and flowers, and we loved them, and it was just all very, very lovey. And yeah, that was pretty much it for that life. And then I basically went to that blue happy place again, so I think that was just kind of confirmation that I was there with my sister. I was like, this looks like the place from last life. So yeah. And then I asked about lives with my dad, so I was like, we were like in this wolf pack. Like, it wasn't, you know, the classic looking wolf. They were much bigger, kind of like Twilight, but a bit bigger than those wolves. And I feel like there's different colors, but we were kind of light. We were like a goldish yellow, like I don't know. There was different colors because it was not on Earth at all. There was less of an atmosphere, but there was definitely more than one moon. There was 2 moons, I believe. There might have been more, but there was 2 moons that I could clearly see, and the sky was more of a purplish. But yeah, we were definitely in a wolf pack together. And then the next life I saw, I asked about my ex. So I was this frog being, is the closest thing that it looked like to me. Basically a big frog, but it had antennas, and then the eyes were circles like on these antennas. And we had like hundreds of kids. Yeah, I was like thousands or hundreds, like, I don't know, 700-800 kids. And yeah. And then the next life I saw was asked about my other ex, and I was in this like dungeon, and outside of the dungeon, it was on Earth, I think, or a place very much so like Earth, or like a different version of Earth, because I was trying to get the country name. It was like Mongolia or Malaysia or something like that, like a M, like Asian, one of those countries. And yeah, I was in some dungeon for some reason, and then there was a monkey outside the dungeon. I don't know. You see weird stuff in past life regression therapy sometimes, but yeah, that was clear as day. I remember it. I'm not gonna say all the details because it's more of emotions than actual stuff. But yeah, that's just kind of the examples I have of when I went to past life regression therapy. That's all the lives I saw, so you guys know. I didn't go in detail on everything I saw during that main life that I went there to see, because that's personal and that's for another video, because I could talk about it for hours. So yeah, but I'm just gonna kind of explain really quick how you piece this all together, because for most people it's not going to be this easy to remember your past lives. You know, you have school or work or whatever, and you don't have the time to accept every single day in your daily life that you're an infinite multidimensional being. So you don't take a second and stop every once in a while and think, ooh, I'm in this sack of meat on this giant rock floating through space. You know, you don't do that like I do. And if you do that like I do, then this is going to come to you a bit easier. And that's okay if it doesn't, okay? Being okay with not having this information is kind of the key to getting it. Just being secure in every single moment of your life and always being happy is kind of how you're going to continue to stay happy. So don't get hooked on figuring out what your past lives are, because this life is the life that matters right now. But it does help, you know, knowing your past lives to know how to work this life and know what you're supposed to do or what you came here to do this life. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. I am almost done. I want to say a few more things though. That you can be a guy in past lives if you are a girl now. You can be a girl in past lives if you are a guy now. There's also lives and other beings who are genderless or are both genders because they are aliens, and aliens are different than us, obviously. So there's infinite possibilities in this infinite universe, and you can have very weird past lives. You can have past lives that don't even feel like a life because they aren't even on like a planet, they're in like a realm. So it's weird, but I definitely remember being a little boy with like flippy blonde hair on a cloud, and I remember being a boy like warrior ant dude underground. So yeah, and that was just during meditation one night before I went to bed. Didn't even have to go see Alice Mixer. So I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you guys found this interesting and not just totally lunatic. And I hope you guys go somewhere super fun tonight when you go to sleep. So always feel free to drop comments down below if you have a specific topic you want me to do a video on, or if you guys want me to talk about those women that I feel deeply connected to. I might decide to do a video on that in the future. You gotta let me know though. Gotta freaking hammer me on that one for that one to get done. But I hope you guys have a great week. My Patreon is up and running. No one has donated yet, but if you guys do, you can Skype call me and I will help you figure out this past life stuff, okay? So check that out on Patreon. Love and light, and the hybrid children are coming soon.